What if you could completely transform your life from the inside out by developing a healthy sense of inner authority? One of the fascinating things about this journey of healing is developing this sense of authority where a person determines themselves rather than being determined by other people. And the fascinating thing about this is that it has so much to do with self-worth and untying all of the trained strings that were taught to be tied to all of these things and people out there that would determine a person's self-worth, and instead realizing that you actually have the power to determine yourself, and you don't have to allow any authority out there to be the determiner of yourself. And it is healthy because as long as you take the time to set healthy boundaries, to individuate and differentiate, know where it is that you begin, where it is that you end. One of the biggest things is differentiation between self and other. Why would you give anybody else the power to determine yourself? When you realize that there really is nothing there to determine you but yourself, it completely transforms the game. And there's really nothing crazy or chaotic or unhealthy about it. If you actually take the time to develop yourself in a healthy way, and one of the biggest things is getting back in touch with your own intuition, it can really transform the game for you. Nobody else gets to tell you who you are and who you aren't. Nobody else gets to tell you what you do and do not like. Nobody else gets to tell you what you should and shouldn't do. You can be your own determiner. Oh, I am worthy because I am worthy. It's not like I'm worthy because that person said that I'm worthy or that person said that I'm worthy. Quite honestly, who the fuck are they? Once you realize the power of this entire dynamic, you'll stop investing that way into other people. You'll stop looking for things in other people that you realize you can actually give to yourself. And you'll realize that the dynamic has to do with how you see yourself and the power that you get to take back for yourself for that and give to that. It's a completely dynamic transformation and experience in and of itself. You are your own determiner. I am my own determiner. Nobody gets to tell me whether or not I'm worthy. My worth does not get less based on somebody seeing me as less. Why? Because that's just a projection of them about how they feel about themselves onto me. And that's the power of this entire dynamic and of this entire game, is seeing everything for what it is. Now, I understand that it might be challenging to do this. You might struggle to do this because you might see it and you might be like, but that doesn't seem safe. That doesn't seem like the right thing to do. Shouldn't there be a authority outside of me? The question that I have is, how well do you know yourself? How much power of yourself have you given up? How well do you want to know yourself? Because you're in control of yourself. Everybody is actually in control of themselves. They have maybe given up power to other people to determine different things. Oh, you determine my worth. Oh, you determine if I'm good enough. Oh, you determine this about me. Oh, you determine that about me. No. Yeah, no, absolutely not. Bring all of that stuff back to yourself. This is your ride. This is your show. You get to choose you for you. And if anybody else is trying to get you to believe that that shouldn't be the way that it is, that's their own problem. You get to determine yourself for yourself. And not only this, let me make this very clear. One of the most important parts about becoming your own inner authority is recognizing the absolute best possible decisions for you. Other people may have told you who you are, what you should or shouldn't do with your life, what you should or shouldn't like. Why would you listen to them? Going back to Freudian psychology, specifically in psychoanalytic theory with the id, the ego, and the superego, the development of the ego is the most important thing to look at here. If you were raised by somebody who was an authority figure over you and really didn't pass that on to you to further develop your own sense of self and your own sense of autonomy and your own sense of intuition, your own sense of understanding of self and direction of self, the likelihood that you got the marring and scathing that led you to believe that you're supposed to seek authority from somebody else is very high. It's very important that an individual can determine their own inner sense of authority. It's very important and healthy that a person can follow their own intuition, because that inner guide that's guiding you places, that's teaching you what is best for you, it's important to listen to that. And people that were raised in survival-based childhoods where they were taught to shut that out and get rid of that, they're out of touch with it. And those are probably the same people that have learned to delegate authority of them to other people. You determine you for you. This is your life. These are your decisions. You get to learn about what it is that is most important to you, the things that you like, the things that you dislike, what it is that you want and need for yourself, what it is that you want and need in relationships. You may have been raised by people that taught you that you should do something, or even they taught you that you should like something. Imagine that. Imagine being taught that you should like something because somebody from the past liked it. Oh, you should like this because other men like it. Really? And who the fuck are you? Yeah, you should like it because this is what other people in the group like. So you should like it. You should buy into that group think and like it. Boundaries? Thank you. It's wild that somebody could actually suggest to somebody else that they should like something simply because somebody else likes it. I will determine what I do and don't like, thank you very much, simply by sitting with my own intuition, simply by sitting with the enjoyment or lack thereof of something. It's funny to me. I understand that the energy dynamic of this video is in a few different areas. It's just fascinating to me that people give up their own sense of inner authority, their own sense of director to other people or to something else. It doesn't matter what it is, simply because they've been pulled that way, because they lack healthy boundaries, because they lack individuation and differentiation. And these are usually the people that struggle with authority stuff the most. It's back and forth, it's all over the place. Why not just be your own authority? Why not just be the own determiner of yourself? You can. Why should somebody else give you direction in life? This is your life. But of course, your capacity to do this to the best of your ability is entirely based on how well you know yourself and how much time you've spent with yourself, by yourself, in yourself, on yourself, doing the work on yourself to develop your sense of self to the best of your ability, based in healthy boundaries, individuation, and differentiation. All of these different things are incorporated to create this entity. Anybody that lacks those things, they're not good or bad or right or wrong. They just lack healthy boundaries, which stops them from having a much more developed sense of self, which would really be beneficial for a healthier life. And that's the difference here. Once you develop a healthy sense of inner authority, you have no problems making decisions for yourself. You know exactly what it is that you like and dislike, and you live according to those things. And you have no anxiety around decision making. You don't feel like you have to seek advice from other people because you know yourself well enough. Nobody else determines you but yourself. And the example of me, nobody determines me but myself. I am in touch with my intuition. I am in touch with what my intuition is communicating to me. I will make decisions in congruency with that intuition based on how well I've known myself, based on how well I know myself. That's the difference here. You can develop your own sense your own healthy sense of inner authority, and it will completely transform your life. It will also transform how other people perceive you. It's wild.